Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm so excited to tell you about a new bombshell announcement released by ATS software for both Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator. The announcement came on September 22nd and the information is that there's going to be a brand new game mode. The new game mode is going to be called Driving Academy and I am extremely excited for it. I do think this is going to be game changing for us truck sim fans. As opposed to keeping things vague, they've given us a huge amount of information and I know lots of folks in the community maybe haven't even heard of this information yet. So today in this video, I want to go through some of the info, some of the images that ATS software have put up, and I'll give you my opinion on what I think about this new update. Dare I say it, this is probably one of the biggest updates to the game that we've had in a couple of years. Well, this is the first image that's released and we can see in the foreground a set of truck keys, a clipboard, suggesting that we're going to be taking tests, and we can see in the background there the training center. We can see a trailer out there being maneuvered into a space. This is a screenshot of the new menu screen from Euro Truck Simulator, and you can see here that they're going to integrate Driving Academy from the main menu. In the next image, we can see the driver avatar is the same in the top corner, so I'd imagine this is still Euro Truck we're looking at. And this shows us the three main stems of the Driving Academy. We have the truck driving basics, and we've got lots more information on that coming up. Then in the middle, we have truck driving proficiency, and this is where we hone truck driving skills with new scenarios in more challenging conditions. So I don't know if this is just a more advanced version of the basics. I think we need to get more information on the truck driving proficiency stem. And finally, there's another one which says coming soon. So I wonder if this is maybe where weekly challenges are going to appear. We're still here in Euro Truck. There's clearly been an introduction cutscene to show us perhaps our truck and where we are. And this one is called Chapter 1 Basic Controls and Movement. We are encouraged to set our seats, our mirrors and our steering wheel, have all our camera controls in place, get the truck into gear, be able to accelerate and brake, and of course that all important reverse maneuver. We also have lights and wipers controls, and then we can see a little bit of some of these basic maneuvers where it looks like the truck is being moved around cones and being parked into a space and up against an obstacle. In this case, we've got the Scania S model, and I'm interested in the change truck option. Does this mean if we own our own truck, we can use that in the Driving Academy? I think that would be pretty cool. The next image shows us the Euro map, and incidentally, it looks like there is one for both Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator. And I believe what we're looking at in the distance over there is the truck center, where we saw the shot of the office and the keys in the first scene. And we can see over to the right hand side, there is what looks like a racetrack, but I guess this is where all the obstacles and truck maneuvers take place. We're inside the truck now, and it looks like one of the first maneuvers is driving the truck forwards and being able to stop in front of an object, knowing our distances, and no doubt using our sensors, or perhaps even our senses, to ensure that we do not run into the obstacle. Nothing like a bit of pressure with people over there having their food and watching us and doing our maneuvers. Then we jump to American Truck Simulator, and we can see the menu here, very similar to Euro Truck. And so this is now going to show us a little bit of the American truck angle. What's amazing is now we get to see a bit of Chapter 4 reversing with a trailer. Now you'll notice there's a little star, a little rosette. I guess that indicates that we've passed that particular section. So it looks like this driver has passed the first 4 maneuvers with some others still to go. Here's a Western star getting backed into a trailer. So there's going to be arrows painted on the ground to tell us the direction of travel, and there's going to be cones to keep us on the straight and narrow. I also really love these custom signs. This one says caution, truck driving training in progress. In this page, we can see this particular player has passed the first 3 scenarios, and they've showed us here what the third scenario looks like. It's called First Drive, and you can see all of the rules that you have to follow and all the goals you have to achieve in order to pass. It looks pretty stringent, I have to say. Looks like there's plenty of things here to keep you on your toes. We're back in Euro Truck Sim now with the Renault T, and it looks like the driver is going to have to nose up to these cones and park into this area outlined in grey. You may have noticed in the sky there's a little funnel icon, looks a bit like a tornado, and this is similar to the graphics they use for pinpointing your trailer within the sim. This is an example of a scenario from within a Euro Truck Simulator. The reason I know that is the truck is red in the top right corner. You can see with this one, the player has managed to do scenarios 1, 2, and 3, and these are the rules and goals for the third scenario, which is called Slalom Between the Cones. This image makes me very excited, and I'll explain the reasoning for that in just a moment, but what it shows here is a Euro Truck doing a scenario called parallel parking, and the driver has done most of the maneuvers already and got a green tick for them. They've just got to align the truck inside the parking spot, then secure the vehicle, and they will pass the entire scenario. What makes me very excited is this replay system at the bottom here. Now I know SES software have been working on the replays. There are different camera angles on the left hand side. We seem to be on the top down camera. Looks like we're able to scan through our progress, maybe even perhaps do a bit of a flashback so we don't have to start the scenario from scratch. That would be a useful feature. This looks a little bit like a racetrack, but this seems to be part of a course that's been set out, perhaps keeping it within the lines, keeping the truck off the curbs, something like that. Let me know in the comments what you think the purpose of this course is. Here's a closer look at the arrows on the ground on American Truck Simulator, and we're using the bespoke American Truck Simulator Driving Academy trailers. So it does look like we're going to be doing these maneuvers not just in a yard with cones, it looks like we're going to be doing this in real world settings too, which I really appreciate. Here's an image of the Volvo with the trailer attached, negotiating a very tight course. This one to me looks fairly challenging. The great news is with difficult courses like this, there seems to be a lot of help on hand. This graphic here shows us to keep the tractor to the outside of the corner. You'll need to swing wide as the trailer follows a shorter path. So it looks like they're going to hold our hand, which is great in order to keep us right with some of these more tricky maneuvers until we gain confidence. And for any truck sim veterans out there wondering if all these maneuvers were going to be far too easy, this looks like a tricky one. We're very limited on space and we're having to drive into the space, and the game is asking us to drive past the parking spot and then turn hard and fast into the spot to make sure the trailer makes it. This is the same shot from above, and we can see there the driver is doing really well, and it definitely looks like there are 4 different camera options. This is great news. This particular graphic shows what is known as the button hook maneuver. It's a way to turn around a sharp corner by essentially using the other lane of traffic and then hooking back in, making sure no motorists try to sneak up the right hand side in the process. But I can see we also have the challenge of a barrier in place so that we don't take up too much road as we make the maneuver. This is the outside view of that button hook maneuver, and we can see this driver has unfortunately failed. They got too close to the cones on the left hand side, and the bumper of the trailer has just clipped one of the cones, and you can see that falling over. What we can also see is on the top right hand corner there's a top down view of the truck, a bit like a radar diagram, and we can see the location being pinpointed where we've clipped or made contact with a cone, and that is the reason for the failed mission. This image shows a bit of a nightmare maneuver. It's going to be a blind back, and it looks like the truck is going to have to drive straight forward towards those barriers, reverse into the parking spot on our right hand side, and you can see the big hump in the course on the left hand side. That's the area where the tractor unit is going to swing round in order to get into that space. That one to me looks very tricky indeed. And just in case you were thinking you were only ever going to see a couple of trucks and a couple of obstacles, look at this yard. It's absolutely jam-packed with trucks, and so we're not going to have our pick of the parking spaces. Some of these ones to get into look really difficult indeed. I hope you've got something out of the video today. Please leave your comments below. I'd love to hear what you think of it. Is there anything I've missed? Do you know any other information that you can provide to help us understand the Driving Academy in a little bit greater detail? I appreciate you coming along today for the chat. If you learned something today, then please give me a thumbs up. And of course, if you're new to my community, then please consider subscribing. Most importantly, have an excellent day. And until the next one, take care.